Shalom. Giving our praise, glory, and honors unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Chakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the 144,000, as well as to the rest of the hopeful elect out there. This is your brother, the priest, Desire One from GMS Atlanta, back with another edifying video. And this is a bad omen. This is a bad omen. This is a sign that Esau, Edom, is done. This is a sign that this system is done. The small hats, and even over here in Babylon, it's done. So it says, breaking, crows are circling over Tel Aviv. If you know scripture, this is not a good sign. If you know scripture, this is not a good sign. Well, it's a good sign for us. It's a good sign for the Lord's people. It's a good sign for the 12 tribes of Israel. It's a good sign for Jacob. It's a good sign for the Israelites, the believers in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? Now, this has been making its round around the news and different videos, and, you know, brothers have been speaking on this. So I'm going to try to make this real quick. So if you know anything about Tel Aviv is also known as Pink City. And it's a place of debauchery. It's a place of wickedness. It's pretty much Sodom and Gomorrah and Sin City in the land of Israel over there. So the fact that you got these birds and these crows circling over this city, it shows you that the Lord is watching this place. You see it here. This is over Tel Aviv, man. And this place is beginning to hit with strikes too. Thousands and thousands of crows circling this city, man. Okay? So I have an article here. And it says, a murder of crows over Tel Aviv triggers chatter of bad omen and biblical prophecies on social media. Okay, from March 26, 2026, today's date. And this is it, man. The end of Esau has to come, man. The end of this devil is nigh at hand. The Tel Aviv skyline was filled with thousands of crows on Tuesday. Video showed the birds covering the sky, bunching up to form black structures. People think they are a sign of doom, while experts have a perfectly reasonable scientific explanation. See, this is what Esau does. He tries to bring a so-called logical explanation. Listen, it's a spiritual sign of your doom. Just like a few years back when you had the Pope release that dove, and I believe it was a raven or a crow attacked it. Hold on, let me get that. Hold on. Let's see if y'all remember this. Okay. Crow attacks dove. Right Pope. Yeah, here we go. Let's get the news. Right, this was years ago. This was back in 2014. Let me get this here. Hey, I just did this video on the fall of Christianity, all these different churches are closing, so stick a fork in you false Christians out there. Y'all are done. But this was a sign from back then, because who's the mother of the Christian church? These Roman Catholics. It says Pope's peace dove attacked by crow and seagull. Fate of white doves unclear after being released by children standing alongside Pontiff in front of crowd in St. Peter's Square. You see a seagull attacking them. It says, one dove lost some feathers as it broke free from the gall, but the crow pecked repeatedly at the other dove. It was not clear what happened to the doves as they flew off. Speaking at the window beforehand, Francis appealed for peace in Ukraine, and this is way before the war, where anti-government protesters have died. Yeah, see? There you go. So crows are an ominous sign for the end of Esau's system. Okay? It's the end of his spiritual. Hey, it's really, you can say it's really the end of the three frogs in Revelation 16. Because you got the Roman Catholic Church, you got America, which it was over the recent crows are over Tel Aviv, but who's the military arm of Tel Aviv and the state of Israel? America. So who knows? You may see some ominous sign of crows in these other city-states. You know, that's just my spiritual insight, my spiritual perception. Okay? So let me read into this. It says, a murder of crows was seen over Tel Aviv on Tuesday, with netizens quickly linking it to prophecies of doomsday. Right? Well, there is going to be a day of doom. Okay, let me get that scripture. Ezekiel, the 7th chapter. So we know these prophecies. These Christians, these pastors, y'all don't know the scriptures. Y'all don't know the prophecies. This is Ezekiel chapter 7. And verse 6. It says, an end is come. The end is come. It watcheth for thee. Behold, it is come. Okay? So the end of this world is come, man. That's doom. Okay? That's doom. Let me go to the Apocrypha. Okay? About the day of doom. The day of doom. Yep, Second Ezra 7 and 43. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time. So that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the end of this time and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past. And all these institutions are corrupted. Roman Catholic Christian institution, the state of Israel, America, Babylon, Esau's whole society, the beast, Europe, it's all corrupted. And just as empires in the past fell, this current kingdom and empire is going to fall, and the immortal kingdom to come, the kingdom of Israel, will soon be in the earth. Spoke on the end of this time and the day of doom. So it says, thousands of these birds took over the city skyline, hovering and circling over buildings. Videos showing the crows went viral as people watched the scene aghast, wondering if it could mean something in the ongoing Iran war, amid the ongoing Iran war in the Middle East crisis. Yeah, it's the Battle of Armageddon will take place, World War III. Others wrote that the eerie scene was a sign of impending disaster. The scene was not ordinary as the crows appeared to form black clouds. Oh, hold on. Let me get a scripture. Right, let's go to the book of Amos, the 5th chapter. See, when you hear these things, scripture should come to mind, man. You know, that's why we pay attention to these news reports, these articles, because they lead into scriptures. Okay? Okay, this is Amos 5 and 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. That's right. It's darkness, okay? So that's what's coming. A dark day, an end Okay. Um, Let me see. Clouds and gloominess. See if I got this right. Okay, yeah, Joel the second chapter, Zephaniah 1 and 15. Let's get Zephaniah. Okay. Zephaniah 1 and 14. It says, the great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteth greatly, meaning it's coming quick, man. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. Yeah, your military men, your army, your forces, right? And this around war this is World War III. It's going to lead up to the destruction of Babylon the Great. Okay. So the prophets, the men of GMS, we've been out here prophesying about this coming. Verse 15, that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And when you go back to this here, what does it say about these crows? It says they form like a dark cloud over the city of Tel Aviv. It says the scene was not ordinary, as the crows appeared to form black clouds. Residents watched the birds as the sheer number left them stunned. On social media, people called the eerie scene a harbinger of doom. As a user wrote on X, it is often followed by total catastrophe. And that land over there, where Tel Aviv is located, the land of Israel as it is today, the modern land is going to be totally destroyed. But it's going to be brought back and re-beautified when the true Israelites, the elect of you so-called black Spaniards and Native Americans, those of us that are of that remnant that the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai delivers, we're going to get that land back because that's our land. That's the motherland. All right, but first, total catastrophe has to happen. Others linked it to biblical prophecy and cited a verse from the Bible's book of Revelation 19 and 17. See, some of these people, they know some of these scriptures, okay, but they don't know the whole thing, right? But the major churches and these Christians, they don't know the prophecies. But that's because there's so much happening. It's so much happening. You got to look to the scriptures to understand what's going on today. That's why I don't understand why all the churches are closing. This is the time to get into these prophecies. But hey, the Lord is dealing with the true prophets. It says they claimed it describes an angel standing in the sun, shouting to birds flying in mid-air to gather for the great supper of the Most High. And that supper means that the destruction of this place is about to come. So let's get that. Revelation 19. And I'll get straight to the point. Right, it talks about the coming of Yahweh Shai. Revelation 19 and 17. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, that includes crows, ravens, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great God, the great power, right, which is the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, that ye may eat the flesh of kings and the flesh of captains. The rulers of this world and their armies will be in the Middle East to fight World War III. So this is a sign of destruction. And who's the head nation leading all these armies into the Middle East? The people of Israel. And the flesh of mighty men and the flesh of horses and of them that sit on them. So that means the tanks, the Air Force pilots and their planes and their jets. Okay, the stealth bombers, the drones. Everything is going to be destroyed. And the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. And I saw the beast, which that's America and NATO, that's the rival of the Roman Empire, And the kings of the earth, that's all these nations, and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. And they're going to try to fight the angels of the Lord, including Yahweh Shai when he comes back, which the world calls UFOs or UAPs, and they're going to get totally destroyed. You can read that in the Apocrypha in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, which shows how powerful and how glorious the Messiah is going to come back. So it says, doom of the beast and false prophet. What's the false prophet? The false prophet is represented by the Pope, the church. Okay, that's why I went back to mention years ago about that crow that attacked the false prophet, which you got a new guy up in there. Okay, but the prophecies in the Omen remains the same. And the beast is this system, this empire. It says, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet, and wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them. They have received, they received the mark. That's the MOTB. And them that worship this image. So if you take this chip, as we've been saying, you're going to also be destroyed. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. That's the destruction of Babylon the Great. That's why the next major prophecy is the mark, the MOTB. Verse 21, and the remnant were slain with him. And the remnant were slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse. So Yahweh Shai is coming back to destroy. He's not coming back to pass out lollipops and balloons. He's coming back to make war with this system, Esau's system, and these other nations. So he can establish. No kingdom was not established. No new kingdom was established without destroying the old. So this old kingdom is going to be destroyed, and the new kingdom of heaven will be on earth, which is the kingdom of the Israelites, the kingdom of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, starting with King David on earth, and the rest of the 144,000, and the rest of Israel in the ruling seat of power. And the remnant was slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse. Yahweh Shai is coming back with his sword with great power, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, because he's going to come back with those laser beams like they show you in Independence Day. And all the fowls were filled with their flesh. Oh, and when all these false bodies, all these bodies that are left out in the land where they fought World War III, whatever bodies are not totally disintegrated, there's going to be birds, and these crows are going to eat those bodies. Okay, and the vultures and the other creatures are going to eat these bodies, and then you're going to have the Israelites come down, the elect come down to take over the world in righteousness, and those of you elite members of Esau and your families, whoever survives, you're going to be put to work in the captivity. This is Ezekiel 39th chapter. It says that we shall sever out men of continual employment. That's captivity. And you're going to have to bury those bodies. But you're going to try to bury those bodies, and these birds are going to be pecking at you. So this is a bad sign and omen, man. But it's a good sign. Prophecy's coming to pass. Okay? Right? So with that, I'm going to close this lesson out. All praises goes to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai B'Shem Kakwadash. Amen. We're almost up out of here, man. Keep the faith. Continue to watch and pray. Shalom.